Pay close attention. Selected 1. For over the course of the next 25 days, your whole world is going to collapse and reassemble into something so amazing that you will hardly recognize the person looking back at you in the mirror. I'm going to tell you why your bank account is about to alter so drastically that you won't be able to explain it, why you've been feeling unusual synchronicity, and why everyone around you has been behaving strangely. You must first realize that this is not a coincidence. It is the result of a cosmic scheme that has been developing for many years. You will discover yourself in this instant, just before everything happens. In the hours before this metamorphosis, you'll feel different. Perhaps you had the feeling of an identity crisis followed by a strong recovery during the most recent significant transit a year ago. Now, the same energy is developing, but it's tenfold more intense. Regardless of whether they were friends, relatives, lovers, or even pets, you've put a stop to every toxic connection that was ruining your life. The cosmos has been preparing you for this very moment, when you must fully assert your true authority. You wouldn't return to your previous existence. They would have to pull you kicking and screaming back to that time frame when you believed falsehoods about your limits, took crumbs, and suffered rudeness, even if they gave you a lot. Every cell in your body is aware that the quantum field around you is undergoing a seismic transformation. When you enter rooms these days, the air itself crackles with electricity. Too much time is spent staring. Conversations end in the middle of a phrase. There's a profound alteration in your energy signature, and what follows will demonstrate how strong you become. What they don't want you to know, however, is that this change you're going through isn't arbitrary. Less than 0.1% of people ever reach the pinnacle of what you've been climbing, which the ancients refer to as the mountain of waking. For those who are still crawling about in base camp, the vista from up here is both spectacular and scary. They have been shouting from the bottom that you would never succeed, branding you a fraud, a deluded person, and someone who has no place in the exclusive realm of genuine spiritual power. Even you will be shocked by the manner in which the cosmic powers are going to reward your trust. Although there will be money as well, the windfall I described is more than that. Everything that had been working against you has completely reversed. All of the doors that were slammed in your face are going to open wide. Everyone who disregarded you is going to see you achieve something they never thought possible. You're going to get compound interest in response to every prayer you send up throughout your darkest hours. You're wondering whether you should feel bad since everyone around you is falling like flies. Don't. You're seeing the cosmos remove the rubbish with surgical accuracy, which is an example of divine justice in action. These people were never supposed to see you completely emerge because the instant your power fully awakened, they would have attempted to steal, undermine, or siphon it. Everyone in your life has been subjected to background checks by the cosmic intelligence safeguarding you, and the findings will soon be made public in the most spectacular manner imaginable. This week, you will be consumed by your emotions, yet these emotions are ones of intense thankfulness. After feeling so depressed for so long, you're feeling so fantastic now that you're in an echo chamber of miraculous occurrences. This is a significant advancement in your ability to draw things into your life. You'll discover that you've been waiting for this golden age for years, perhaps 5, 10, or 20 years of maintaining your faith, as you spin around in awe at the healing occurring. Your energy now radiates a frequency that shakes individuals to their very core, even when it seemed impossible. The ones that are supposed to remain are changing with you, becoming more honest, becoming more up-to-date, and supporting your goals. However, as the lights come on, the others, the energy suckers, the phony pals, and the relatives who never encouraged your dreams, scrambling about like roaches. They sense a huge event coming, but they are aware that they are not invited. Someone attempted to instill in you the idea that you would never achieve anything noteworthy. Because you believed in possibilities they couldn't see, they labeled you as insane, low-class, and useless. Perhaps family members imposed their own constraints on your boundless potential. Perhaps unpleasant work situations were produced by bombed-out coworkers whose darkness was intolerable due to your brightness. In order to feel better about their own mediocrity, pals may have feigned support for you, while secretly hoped you would fail. The unexpected story twist, however, is that each assault on your character was really strengthening your spiritual defenses. Cosmic powers were recording every falsehood they told about your value as proof that you will eventually be proven right. They were unintentionally making your light shine brighter each time they attempted to dim it. Their negativity was being used by the divine to drive your metamorphosis. Additionally, the bill is now due. Long before the physical embodiment showed up, you were behaving and wearing the role. Because of the way you show yourself and the unwavering confidence with which you carry yourself, everyone around you assumed you were already wealthy. They've had their sights set on you, believing you might provide them with financial support, but they're unaware that you've been emerging from a near-total slumber. You're not going to engage in any cycles of rinse and repeat with individuals who would drain your energies as soon as prosperity arrives. Your training ground has been the mountain you've been ascending, this grueling trek that all awakened souls must do. It served as your crucible where the unbreakable core was produced and the weaker components were burnt away. The voices warning you wouldn't survive at base camp, they're still debating whether the mountain even exists, and now they're going to watch you raise your flag at the top. You were being tried by powers outside of the physical world, but you were unaware of this throughout your darkest hours. You didn't give up even though there were moments when you thought you were flatlining and your life force was hardly noticeable. In times when you required spiritual resuscitation and your whole being wanted to give in to the darkness, something heavenly inside, you continued to give your dreams new life. You emerged from periods of hibernation that almost wiped you out, times when you had to isolate yourself in order to reconstruct yourself from the inside out. Your spiritual DNA was completely rebuilt. This was more than simply mending. All of it. Every tower moment that broke your illusions, every soul-dark night that tried your faith, and every time you were alone and had to find your own strength, was preparing you for what was about to happen. If not physically, you have been homeless in spirit. You've been sleeping in an uncertain automobile. You have overcome an addiction to unhealthy habits and connections that were gradually destroying your potential. However, identifying the imposters in your life was the most important exam. It was possible to buy, bribe, or break these individuals. When someone provided them what they desired, they immediately cast aside their limits and basic beliefs. They pretended to be friends while chatting about your aspirations, supporters while criticizing your efforts, and allies while secretly wishing you would fail. Depending on who was giving the greatest bargain, these people had no trouble switching allegiance. But rather of selling out for short-term advantages, you decided to wait for divine timing. The world has to test your ability to uphold your morals at a cost. Would you sacrifice your morals in order to get acceptance? Would you turn down the lights so that people may feel more at ease? If you didn't want to stand alone, would you accept less than your value? All of these tests yielded a loud negative response. You're going to get an unimaginable prize because of this. A few of these individuals participated in initiatives to publicly humiliate you. They would purposefully deliver you unpleasant information under the pretext of concern while acting as if they were embroiled in a dispute. Like emotional vampires, they would say things like, "I hate to tell you this, but so-and-so said you were," and then watch your response in slow motion. They were always seeking reasons to give sad news while posing as harmless messengers, and they were continuously trying to find methods to justify harming you. This is the point at which the narrative takes an amazing turn. You'll be left speechless by the impending seismic upheaval in your bank account. In fewer than 25 days, not in days or weeks. Small quantities or gradual growth are not the point here. This is about the money you've been lacking, money that stands for stability, freedom, and the capacity to live your life as you see fit. All of your prayers, your visions, and your faith, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable obstacles, are going to come to pass at the same time. The shocking revelation is that this financial achievement isn't the primary event. It's only the prelude to something far more significant. You see, your whole metamorphosis had to take place in encrypted quiet. because parasitic individuals were ready to slip through whatever gap they might discover. The quantity that was approaching you needed to be secured and kept fairly undetectable. The cosmos has been blocking individuals at levels they cannot even comprehend as part of its ultimate protection scheme. It's not because you weren't prepared that some of your benefits have been delayed. The reason for this is because certain individuals in your life would have taken that energy directly from your soul and bank account. Some people, friends, family, and love partners, would have become emotional and financial drains as soon as you reached a higher level. Your wealth has been kept just out of reach by the cosmic intelligence guarding you until you reached a level of spiritual maturity that would allow you to handle it without encouraging harmful conduct. Both your connection with money and your relationship with love are undergoing a radical transformation. You're falling head over heels for the route you're on and falling in love with your life once again. Love arrives with uncanny timing just when we give up on romantic turmoil and say we don't need that type of mess. Your sweetheart is on the verge of meeting you. Someone who recognizes the divine light in you and celebrates it rather than attempting to extinguish it. Someone who encourages the blossoming of your inner child. Not someone who completes you since you are already entire. Your financial breakthrough goes beyond just seeing your account balance rise. You're learning to be discerning about who should have access to your resources and to exercise spiritual discipline. Some individuals in your life, persistent whiners, unrelenting victims, and those with a woe is me mentality, would cause you to collapse both financially and emotionally if you contributed to them out of manipulation or guilt rather than genuine divine direction. Giving should come naturally to you, not because someone is pressuring you or making you feel compelled. Here's what's been going on behind the scenes that will help everything come together. You've turned into a cosmic bait and spiritual test that exposes people's actual nature. For toxic people, you're like a Venus flytrap. Not because you're attempting to catch them, but because your energy reveals their true motivations. Now that you are under divine protection, which does not allow disrespect or energy theft, how others choose to treat you has instant karmic repercussions. Though it's not the type of retaliation you plan, this is your vengeance tour. The world itself administers karmic justice. People are receiving precisely what they deserve as a result of their acts, while you are being elevated to levels that will make their heads spin. It's a parade of cosmic repercussions. People are asking who this changed person is and where they have been hiding since you were suddenly so tall and confident. Your true strength is shown by the mob mentality that attempted to organize against you. Those groupings of individuals who didn't even like one another, but connected over their mutual envy of your potential. One person must be functioning from a frequency that challenges their whole worldview when many individuals who ordinarily can't tolerate one another must band together to attempt to bring that person down. You don't play the phony games that drain so much of society's energy. Instead, you wear your heart on your sleeve and maintain its authenticity at all times. The lovely thing is that the universe is sending you new individuals that have the same energy as you while you're keeping these boundaries tight. You're drawing in new partners, wingmen, and closest friends who are sincere, genuine, and committed to your goals. You're getting divine reminders to be in certain locations at certain moments. These divinely arranged encounters are going to introduce you to your soul tribe, your destiny helpers, the individuals who were always supposed to be a part of your tale, but couldn't join until you'd achieved this frequency. So if you've been practicing timeliness, step it up. Even you are surprised by the extent of your ingenuity. Your intuitive skills, psychic powers, and capacity to see beyond delusions and reveal hidden realities are all being enhanced for the world to see. You automatically find lifelong cheat codes and download knowledge that makes overcoming obstacles seem effortless. You represent a degree of veracity that attracts real individuals and drives away those who are deceitful. After being repressed in order to remain quiet, your inner child is now able to play to the fullest extent of your abilities. It's helping people rediscover who they were intended to be, and it gives you the opportunity to show the world precisely who you were always meant to be. Your energy signature has entirely changed, making others afraid to approach you. Conversations halt as soon as you enter a room. People gaze at you in public places like the grocery store, gym, and others because they feel something special in you, yet they are afraid of your strength. In ways that make some people anxious and others completely enthralled, your presence compels respect and attention. Everywhere you go, there are individuals who are drawn to your energy, but are too afraid to approach you directly. Secret fans. Officially, you're in sovereign mode, acting with the might and stealth of someone who is beyond normal boundaries. Untouchable, unstoppable, and unmistakable. You're also functioning from royal awareness. People are frightened by this new you because of the zero tolerance for foolishness that exudes from your aura. They're rushing because they want to try again to see if there's a way to get you to return to the previous dynamics, but you're not amenable. A line has been carved in the sand by you. You can't play in the sandbox of your new world if you work for the devil. Anything that does not align with your new frequency will be met with a not today from your energy, and others who lack clarity will sense this force field around you. But being distant isn't the point here. It's about choosing carefully. In order to give you the bandwidth to identify and accept the proper connections when they arise, the universe is screening away anybody who would waste your time, deplete your energy, or divert you from your goal. Cosmic powers beyond their understanding are dealing with the avaricious superiors who misjudged your ability. Because they believe they could suppress light and get away with it forever, their karma isn't looking good. They undoubtedly misjudged your capacity to see through deceit, to clock the game, and to function under heavenly direction rather than human constraints. All of it, the poisonous family relationships, the difficult job conditions, and the phony friendships, was setting you up for this moment when divine justice tilts the scales in your favor. People are envious of your accomplishments and objectives in ways that might surprise you. People who have settled for less feel very insecure because of your vision, your standards, and your success that continues coming to you in spite of challenges. You've grown more private and picky about what you disclose, and with whom, because of this. You're developing the ability to move like a vault, keeping your goals and aspirations safe until the time is right to share them. However, those who imagined they would be the last to laugh, who thought they could outlive your faith, and who anticipated that you would finally give up and resume embracing their version of reality. They're going to learn that when it comes to selected ones who have completely engaged their divine assignment, there is no such thing as partial dedication. Your commitment to source energy is unshakable. Your vision is uncompromising, and your passion is unwavering. Money obstacles that have constrained you for years are entirely disintegrating. The power of your new awareness is destroying all of the training that taught you that wealth was somehow unspiritual, the generational curses around plenty, and the self-limiting ideas about your value. You're discovering that having riches enables you to serve others from excess rather than depletion, and that being broke does not make you saintly. The financial stability and debt relief that are on the horizon symbolize spiritual freedom. The capacity to make decisions based on alignment rather than desperation, and the opportunity to support causes and people that you really care about instead of feeling compelled to donate due to scarcity. Because it is linked to your mission, your money is precious. The universe guards what is sacred by preventing those who would abuse it from accessing it. Because you are made of different materials than others who sacrifice their hearts for fleeting gains, you cannot be bought, bribed, or shattered. Your spiritual DNA contains genes that make you immune to intimidation, resistant to corruption, and allergic to everything that may weaken your divine connection. This gives you the greatest hope for people who are prepared to accept truth and the most deadly threat to systems that are based on falsehoods. Now, people are drawn to you wherever you go, left, right, front, and center. However, they are high-quality relationships, soul tribe members, and destiny assistants who are aware of your frequency. The imitators are scurrying in the meanwhile. Imitators are frantically attempting to duplicate what you do, particularly if you're involved in spiritual influence or employment. However, they are unable to see the source code that verifies the authenticity of your method. Because they lack the spiritual fortitude to speak the truth in a loving manner. They are easily agitated, talk nonstop, and sugarcoat everything. People are taking a second look at you because of how much your life has changed. Although physical appearance is undoubtedly changing, it is not the only aspect of this. This is about the strength in your voice, the clarity in your eyes, the confidence in your stance, and the light emanating from your soul. People are wondering where this version of you came from when you show up, not understanding that they're seeing the person you have always been underneath the layers of compromise and indoctrination. A quantum jump in awareness that is shifting your place in the cosmic order is one of the greatest awakenings of your life. You have finished your superhero origin tale. You've transformed into a spiritual barbarian in the most exquisite sense. Someone who battles for justice, beauty, and truth with the sagacity of a sage and the fury of a warrior. The combination makes you utterly dangerous to those who stand to gain from keeping others small and appealing to those who desire for real leadership. You're not falling for it. Even if individuals from your past are attempting to drag you back into previous relationships and capture your attention so they can deplete your energy once again. You've tasted the delicious air of genuine freedom and no longer find the comfort of known dysfunction enticing. You are officially out of your comfort zone. Even while it could be simpler to revert to old habits, support toxic individuals, or view yourself as less valuable than you really are, you will not do so. You're determined to live the life you were meant for, even if that means standing alone for a while. Because they're unable to reach the new levels you are functioning from, your imposters are scurrying, lying, and causing mayhem. They don't have the holy codes that encrypt the life you're creating. Because they lack the spiritual basis that enables your success, they will not achieve the same achievements as you. Even if they attempt to mimic your plans, copy your methods, or steal your ideas. While your efforts continue to multiply enormously, theirs will backfire spectacularly. The message that follows is intended just for the selected. This is not for you if you're under the influence of archonic powers. We also give you permission to go using the spiritual power that the hidden leaders of the Obsidian Inner Order have granted us. If not, fortify yourself and pay close attention, because you'll be saved just as we are. There is no program for the Obsidian Inner Order. It's not a class. It's not a spiritual retreat that makes you feel wonderful. Answers are not what we sell. Together, we remember. Real energy shielding against interference, implants, and beings is what we teach as psychic self-defense. We bring back manifestation in its original form, which was unfiltered, instantaneous, and precise. We meet in private once a week to awaken, to express what cannot be uttered elsewhere, and to deprogram the matrix layer by layer, not to worship. If you're supposed to be there, you'll know it. Your bones will sense it. The selected group meets via Zoom once a week. Why haven't you joined us yet? Goatees? Join the Inner Order of Obsidians. The description contains a link. Because you've learned to identify, accept, and increase success via helping others, it continues to find you. People who need to realize that change is possible, that authenticity is rewarded, and that remaining true to yourself is the best way to succeed are being reached by your mere presence in the world. You could have taken longer than others to get to this point because you had more programming to reverse, more generational curses to lift, and more self-limiting beliefs to overcome. Others didn't need to gain the depth that your trip demanded. At times, you were running on fumes, persevering when others would have given up, and holding on to your faith when the facts pointed to your delusions. The test is now finished, however. The view from up here, the mountain climbed, the top reached, it fulfills all of your expectations and more. The crown that has been waiting for your head now fits properly, and the kingdom that has been ready for your reign spreads out in all directions before you. More than just financial stability is represented by the money that will arrive in less than 25 days. It's the universe's way of telling you that your patience has been respected, your trust has been rewarded, and the greatest authorities have acknowledged your reluctance to compromise. Because of this wealth, you will be able to act with whole sincerity, make choices only based on alignment, and help others out of true overflow rather than out of strategic duty. Because compromising is no longer an option, you're being inspired to dream greater than ever. There's more to this offer to work at higher levels than simply your own achievements. In a society that often encourages lowering your light, it's about being a beacon for those who are prepared to rise above mediocrity, embrace their own brilliance, and refuse to apologize for shining brightly. You deserve this level up for everything that you've been through, conquered, and changed. You understand the bitterness of failure, which is why success tastes delicious. You recall the pain of scarcity, which makes the plenty that is coming insignificant. You remember the times when others didn't think you were valuable. Therefore, the respect you demand is priceless. Your transformational journey is just getting started, not coming to a conclusion. The most thrilling phase, when all of your knowledge is put to use, all of your creations are put to use, and all of your dreams are eventually realized. Those who are falling like flies around you are making room for those who deserve to see your whole splendor. The heavenly favor that has been accumulating behind the scenes for years is going to be reflected in your whole life, including your relationships, opportunities, and cash account. The chosen one, things are going to become serious soon. It's time for you to fulfill the promise that the universe made to you, to live a genuine life, love truly, serve with strength, and shine so brilliantly that others realize they were created to do the same. The mountain has been climbed. The kingdom is ready for your dominion now that the exams have been completed. All of your experiences have prepared you for today. Each departing individual was creating space for a superior candidate. Each locked door was guiding you in the correct direction. All of the delays were the result of divine timing, and you'll see why the universe kept you waiting in fewer than 25 days. You'll understand the need for the protection. You'll understand why it took so long to prepare. The true tale is just getting started, and you have the right to write it because you are the hero,